Hey everyone, this is Fernando doing a short video for Modern Survival. It's pretty late right now, but I wanted to make a short video on something that a YouTube viewer brought up in my previous video where I showed the kerosene heater, the Corona kerosene heater. One of you guys said that, wood stoves are much better, and don't get me wrong, I agree with that 100%. The thing to understand first of all is that with wood stoves, as great as they are, they're not for everyone. You need a certain type of place so as to have one running correctly. If a guy is stuck in a one-bedroom condo, he's not likely to have the possibility of having a wood stove running, right? And even in smaller houses and such, it may not even be possible to get one in place, or it could be actually quite expensive as well, which is something to keep in mind and consider. A wood burning stove makes a lot of sense, especially when you have a few acres and you have a few trees of your own, so as to assure a good supply of fuel to run it. And yes, if that's the case, then just great, it's fantastic. I've lived in houses with all sorts of heating, and you know what? One of the nicest things is having a wood burning stove in your kitchen, or actually even better, one of these wood burning cooker stoves that have like the oven also working with that wood as fuel as well. Those are fantastic. They heat very nicely. A good wood burning stove cooker like that would be ideal for a small house as the only source of heating. But again, it's not for everyone, and it's not the most practical thing in many cases. If you're just looking at doing something on having something in case you have to do without electricity during storms, during power outages, during winter time, and you just want to stay warm, this is one of the most practical things to do and go about it. As you see, I have actually a fireplace. I actually have a couple fireplaces, but these are not the most effective thing to go for in case power goes down. If I have to do without electricity, it wouldn't make as much sense for me to have a few extra gallons of kerosene to run a heater than having a couple cords of wood to burn in the fireplace. And this fireplace is not as bad as some of the older ones that are just made of masonry and brick and stone. Fireplaces in general, guys, are pretty ineffective. They lose most of the heat through the chimney. Most of the heat you're generating with those, with that wood that you're burning, is just wasted completely. Here you do have a bit of a metal structure, and this metal structure and this type of fireplace is a little bit more effective, but it's not nearly as effective as a wood burning stove. The stove is definitely more effective. It makes much better use of the wood supply that you have. But again, if the objective is just being able to make it for a few days without power, and you don't have a wood stove already installed and you want to have a cheap alternative, this is a great option. It is indeed a great option. And even with just one of these, if the entire family has to go a few nights without electricity, you can all just be sleeping in the living room, and leaving a crack of the window open so as to have ventilation, and make sure you have a carbon monoxide detector just in case, and not go to sleep with this thing running. But in that case, everyone's sleeping together, the kerosene heater keeping you guys warm, you just turn it off before going to sleep, and you will make it through the blackout without much of a problem. So that's it, guys. Just my thoughts on kerosene heaters versus wood burning stoves. Wood stoves are fantastic, but again, they require quite a bit of investment if you don't have already one in place. Guys, that's all for now. Have a great day. Remember to subscribe. See you on our next video.